What is up, everybody? As you can obviously tell from my attire, I am training again. Yes, this is my training shirt. This is the shirt that I always wear to training because I kind of like to have a bit of a uniform, but also is because I really don't like going to like I've gotten so used to wearing this that I don't really care to wear anything else. But I'm training again, guys. Like I'm back to like like running the ropes and taking the bumps and doing all the stuff that I need to do. And I'm trying to like get some character work down because like I know that like the way that the trainer said, there's a good chance that I might be wrestling this year. I don't know specifically if that's true. I mean, he probably might hold me out a little bit longer. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not perfect, but I try to be better each time. But it's like the way that he said it, he basically said, you guys ain't gonna be here for y'all ain't gonna be doing this for a whole year. Like this is a sink or swim type of situation. If I feel like you guys ready to go, y'all go into 6 months. And I'm like, 6 months? In parentheses, I've backyarded a little bit longer than that, but here's the hoping that I'm actually still okay. But man, I am feeling it. I am back training again. I'm back now I don't have to worry about the NDAs anymore, so I can actually talk about what I was training, like how I was training today. Okay, so today we was learning how to do the grounded takedowns where you get somebody on your shoulders and you just like that. And clearly me, I'm so used to going up against somebody who doesn't know how to do that part that I feel like I have to lift them and throw them. But it's like in this case I just have to whoop. So he was like, just just nudge your knee and just let them go. And there's this big guy there. I think his name was Tank. And Tank, this was like his first day training. And it did not look like it was his first day training. This dude came in looking like he knew what to do and everything. It was actually spectacular to see a guy his size move the way that he did. I was really impressed by him. So like that dude, if once he's just starting, so he clearly got to work out some kinks, but he's going to get much better if he sticks around. I think one of the few things that actually always will hurt my heart is the fact that a lot of people who I started training with are not there anymore, and we had to go to a whole new facility. I don't know what happened. It's all of a sudden they say, hey, you gotta start going to this location, and I'm like, you know what, fine, forget it, I will do that, no problem. So training facility is like on the other night. It's a little bit further than what I'm used to, but I'm like, what else? Hey, I'm getting trained. I'm getting trained. You're getting paid. Let's do this thing. But now I get a chance to actually the cool thing is that a handful of local wrestlers actually be there, like Chad Skywalker, Nathan Vanderbilt, Rose Gold, Siomata and Cosmo, which Siomata and Cosmo, I love those guys so much. I hope that one day I could wrestle against Cosmo or Siomata. She will bruise my chest with her chops, but I will be like, it hurts so good. I'm so happy to be doing this again, man. I don't understand. I've been obviously if you see my older videos, you know how long I've been wanting to do this, and now that I finally get the chance to, man, it just feels good, bro. It really does. I want to take this time to also talk about how training is for people who have never done it before. I want to just go ahead and just sort of unprove some things real quick. Number one, when it comes to training, this is for new people who want to get trained, but it's yeah, but what if not? Let me go ahead and cut you off right there. First off, you're not going to be too fat, you're not going to be too old, you're not going to be too fat, you're not going to be too old, you're not going to be too this, or you're not going to be too that. The fact of the matter is that if you give these people money, they are going to try their best to make sure to get as much money out of you as possible, which means that when you get there, you're getting trained. They're not going to turn you off at the door and be like, yeah, this guy's way too fat. You know what I mean? Look, the way if Mass Transit could end up in a ECW show, this is a terrible reference. Then all things are possible. The fact of the matter is that first off, I really hate it when people say I'm too fat to get trained. It's like you think that you're too fat. Wouldn't anybody else say that you were too fat to train? Just because all of these wrestlers are in amazing shape and everything like that, doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't start off like that. A lot of wrestlers started off kind of chubby. I mean, heck, look at Bray Wyatt. When he started, he was so heavy that they called him Husky Harris. And then he lost weight, grew his hair out, and all of a sudden, nobody even remembers him being husky anymore. They just say he's a thick swamp man. The fact of the matter is that like, you know, and another thing too is I really hate it when people be like, I'm too old. Look, man, Batista debuted at what, like 33 or something. I want to say Boogeyman debuted at like 40 even. I mean, it's like there's a lot of wrestlers who have debuted in their later years, you know, and getting trained and all that other stuff, and they turn out to actually be surprisingly very good at what they did because of the fact that they probably knew they were probably old enough and smart enough to know to avoid things like drugs and alcohol and crazy stuff and roofing people. The fact of the matter is that like, you know, you're not old, you're mature, but you also probably realize what you can and can't. You probably might be up to grips with the fact that you know what you can and can't do. I just really don't like this idea that like people's biggest enemy when it comes to them possibly wrestling on their own is themselves. It's not like they are too fat or too old or whatever. It's the fact that they believe in their heads that they are not these, you know, walk-in statuesque Greek god and goddesses, and just say, you know what, I don't look like that, so I can't go there. It's like not everybody's going to start as a 16-year-old bodybuilder in professional wrestling. Somebody's going to be fat. Somebody is going to be short. Somebody is going to be like weird looking. Look at me. I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Gresham told me a couple of days ago that I have a really, really, really good up and over. You know? So it's like if I'm fat and get props from Jonathan Gresham, then I say anybody can do this because I am out of shape. I'm just saying. It really kind of but like speaking of Jonathan Gresham, right? I was at Terminus. You get it? Terminus 2. If you hear noise in the background, that's probably like my roommates, I don't know, winning the game or making music or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that I was at Terminus 2 and I got a chance to interact with a fan who was a black woman. And she said she wanted to be a part of this. She said she wanted to be a wrestler. She said she wanted to be like in the industry, and that made me feel so good, bro. Because at one time, being a black woman in professional wrestling was scarce, rare. Like you were lucky to get in the industry because there was so much bias. There was so much things that was going on. There was sexism. It's like there was already sexism in wrestling and racism in wrestling. So imagine combining those two and just giving it just a whole new thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to see that, you know, black women are now becoming a staple of professional wrestling, and there's black women that want to be trained and become wrestlers. It does my heart so good, man. I'm so happy to see that, you know. So I seriously hope nothing but the best for her. Daisha, I'm looking at you. And because it was like right after Terminus, and like, you know, thankfully I got a chance to flag down Gresham because one day me and him are going to be best buds. And, you know, I was like, you know, I was talking to her and Gresham just happened to be nearby. And Gresham is like, okay. I'm like, Gresham, she wants to be a wrestler. She wants to be like us. And Gresham was like, okay, sure. I'll give her my Twitter. She could talk to me about stuff about wrestling. And I'm like, I did an agent thing. I was proud of myself. I am definitely going to 3 minutes because of the fact that I'm a big fan of Gresham. I'm a big fan of wrestling. I love our culture, and I just can't wait to see what the third one has to offer. Speaking of professional wrestling shows, the professional wrestling company that I'm training at right now also has been doing like shows like every 2 weeks over there as well. So because I'm a trainee, I get in for free. And the fact is that like I get a chance to sort of check out what's going on and see things and kind of work on things and talk to the wrestlers and stuff like that. This past month, I've talked to Carlito and Kid Cash. I feel ecstatic right now. This is the happiest I've probably been in weeks, actually. You know, training is fun. Wrestling is awesome, and I can't wait to actually like just be able to finally do it. And you know, I start doing shows because once I actually get my wrestling training done, and people tell me that once I get that green light, your boy is going back to reality of wrestling, and I am going to challenge for the championship. Not sure which one yet, but here's to hoping. Oh man, I better go ahead and call it a night. I'm wired because I just got done training. I did cardio and like I just want to go out on a run, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably get me murdered. But I mean, it's nighttime. You know, black guy, nighttime, running. Come on, come on. I'm getting killed. But I better go ahead and like try to get some rest because I am amped, I am wired, and I am ready to go to bed. I hope. But yeah, that's it, guys. Your boy is back training. Your boy is back wrestling, and your boy is back to doing what he does best, looking great while doing it. God, I mean, okay, maybe I'm looking okay. Love and peace.